Chandra, when you hear the word diabetes, what do you think of?
First of all, one of my instructors in nursing school gave me the best explanation. She really made me understand diabetes when she said sticky blood. You think about something sweet, it's sticky. Or people with diabetes, when that sugar gets in their blood, the blood gets sticky, it can't move the way it's supposed to, which leads to the amputations and the lower extremities not getting proper circulation, things like that.
Mm-hmm. And so you think of that definition?
I do.
When you hear the word diabetes. Right. When you think about your own experience with diabetes, what do you think about?
Well, seeing as I've never really seen people with diabetes until I became a nurse and started working at the nursing home. And the most that I see with diabetes are the elderly. And I see most of them that are really brittle. One minute they're too high to even register, and then the next minute they're bottomed out. So I guess that's what basically comes to mind for me.
Okay. And do you have diabetes in your family?
No, ma'am.
No one has it. So you really just experience it in your work,
right? Because
of being a nurse. Then, what do you think actually causes diabetes?
Well, I don't really think there is a certain thing that causes it. I mean, yeah, there are risk factors like being obese, being an African American, not enough exercise, just a lot of lifestyle things, and heredity is probably one of the biggest things. Mm-hmm. If you're already predisposed to having it from a family member.
Do you think there's things in this community that put people at risk?
Oh, yes.
What would be some of those things? And I mean the county, in Winston County.
For one thing, there's not enough education. There's not enough knowledge about diabetes. People just don't know, and they're kind of afraid of things that they don't know. And I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. We just don't know enough about it. Mm-hmm. The public doesn't know enough.
So how do we change that? What do we need to do?
We need to get more people together that really can understand and explain diabetes. Because I mean, you can say diabetes all day long, but if you're not teaching people and explaining it to them in their terms, because most people, if you say islets of Langerhans, they don't know what you're talking about. You have to get them to where they can understand what diabetes is, what they can do to prevent diabetes, what they can do if they have diabetes, what family members can do, to help their other loved ones that have diabetes. We need more programs here, and they need to start out not just with the adults, but with the kids also, because I see so many kids in this county that are overweight, obese. I have one myself that I'm working on that's overweight very much. So I think we just need to get some more education out here.
All right, so let's talk about your daughter? Son. How old is he?
He's 12.
He's 12. All right, so what's going on with him?
He weighs about 165 pounds. Started out as an underweight child, and about age 4 just started gaining weight out of control. And it's our fault, because if we don't bring it in the house, then he can't eat it. So we've started, as far as snacks and everything, if one person has to have healthy snacks, the whole house has to have healthy snacks. So there's no more snack cakes, no more potato chips, no more French fries. We're baking, and so far from that 165, we've started this about 2 months ago, and he's lost about 7 pounds, which I haven't weighed him in a little while, but he's lost about 7 pounds. And already I can tell that he feels happier, because we're really not sure as far as the family history on his dad's side, because he died when he was smaller. And I think there is some diabetes there, and that scares me to death, to have to deal with a child that has diabetes and to tell him, you see your brothers eating this and eating that, and then you have to tell your child, you can't have this. And to have to go through the pain of having to stick that child every day. I mean, as a nurse, that is like one of my weaknesses. I don't like to see a child stuck with a needle.
So how's your son responding to this new meal plan at your house?
There were some hard days at first. I mean, there were some tears. There was some fist pounding on the bed, but now he's actually come to me and said, "Mama, I feel better now." He's not as sluggish as he used to be. He's got more energy to go outside and play. I mean, we've cut a lot of things. We've cut the TV time as far as and the food. But I mean, he has more time to actually sit and think about other things and to get outside. He's rediscovered his trampoline. He's rediscovered his basketball goal because he's not in front of the idiot box that I call the TV.
What about his friends?
Most of his friends are way smaller than him. I mean, he's one of the shortest kids in his class, but he's one of the biggest kids in his class. And I don't even think they notice it. You know, they never made fun of him or anything, but I think they're really not even noticing the meal change, because when they come to our house, there's always something to eat. So I don't even think they realize that, hey, I'm not getting the cakes and the candy that I used to get when I came here. So, I mean, they love him to death. He's like everybody's best friend. So,
how did, as he was gaining, did you notice as a mom? What did you think was going on?
He was eating too much. And at the time, I was young. I was in school, and grandparents don't like to tell grandchildren no. So when you've already finished one little Debbie cake and you say, "Grandma, can I have another one?" Grandmas don't like to say no. And he gained, when he was 3 years old, he was like almost 80 pounds. He was the size of like an 11-year-old as far as weight, 10, 11-year-old.
So this has been a problem that's just grown then
Yes.
through the years. So applause to you taking a step forward.
We had to.
And obviously it's going to make him feeling better, and it seems like he's
We had
noticing.
started to have to do breathing treatments. We haven't had a breathing treatment in a month. It actually is a month today. We haven't had a breathing treatment.
Does he have asthma?
I don't think, they haven't diagnosed him with asthma, but he had to have a little surgery done, and they noticed that while he was under the anesthesia that he was wheezing, and they had to give him breathing treatments. So, but we haven't had to do that lately.
Well, that's a good thing.
Very
Out
good
on the
thing.
trampoline and still good, huh?
And he can actually play football now, because they were going to keep him from playing sports, but he can play football now.
Excellent, excellent. So I think I hear you saying that families are important in preventing diabetes.
Oh yes, your families are your first line of defense. But you have to have that family that's going to stick by you, that family that's going to be understanding when you have your bad days, because there will be bad days. But also you need a family that's also educated too.